Gulag. In this segment, I keep, as I go to my favorite websites, I keep seeing about once a week news reports about federal troops, the military, still occupying Washington, D.C. And, you know, let's go back to January 6th when the Trump supporters had their protest in regards to for the.
So wait, is the left occupying DC or is the military occupying DC? Do you think the election was stolen, Tom? If that's the case, then why are they still there and have a wall around the Capitol? I mean, I haven't seen any evidence that the election was stolen. So, like, I suppose it's possible, but there isn't, like, any evidence that that's what happened. So I have no reason to believe that the election was stolen.
No secret.
Well, and here's the other thing. You know what? They say a wall on our border is ineffective. Yeah. But yet the wall around the White House they consider effective.
Well, that's because when you put a wall around the border, illegals can still just get on a plane and fly into the country. People can't just get on a plane and fly to the Capitol. Like, that's not possible. Alright, in Atlanta, where I am, 8 killed in a shooting at Atlanta area spas. What we know for sure, 8 people, including 6 Asian women, were shot dead at 3 Metro Atlanta spas on Tuesday. Asian American communities on edge. While police have not yet offered a motive in the attacks, the shootings follow a spike in violence directed at the Asian American community that has left many on edge. A 21-year-old suspect was taken into custody. When he was apprehended, he was on his way to Florida, perhaps to carry out additional shootings, the Atlanta mayor said. Atlanta mayor says suspect in spa shootings should face the stiffest, most appropriate charges. Woodstock, Georgia. That's where I am. Georgia's hate crimes. Let's see. Spa shooting suspect purchased gun in Holly Springs. That's literally where I live. Like, the gun store in Holly Springs is like a 2-minute walk from my house. Harassment and cyberbullying, or spam and scams. We'll say spam and scams. Oh, there's the little girl. Cold pancakes. Aw. Yeah, see, once we reported his channel, like, it wouldn't have done much to him. Because it was other people that were doing it, and he could have been like, I had no clue that people were doing that. But then once he started to do the same exact thing, oh wait, maybe he didn't. My bad. My bad. I just saw like 6 things pop up at once. I was like, all right. Hey, girly bear. All right, Cold Pancakes. You're not in timeout anymore. My bad.
Tom. No, I'd like to pose a new question.
I just want to say really quickly, Tom, that's a nice shirt.
That's the one right there. Tom, that's a nice shirt. That's what I need. I need that as the sound for my notifications.
Young, darker skinned little girls
Hey,
representation in the line of Disney princesses. And it's what sparked like my very, very long journey on, loving nature, and eventually led me to being a pagan now. So there are definitely flaws in the movie, but like Alice said, it was a huge step forward from the last bit of representation that Disney gave Indigenous people, which was Peter Pan, which sucked. And it was a huge step up. So whenever we're talking about
what is this rat on my screen right now?
So gross.
What is this dirty rat on my screen?
Disgusting.
Listen.
Oh, terrorists are coming over the southern border. Why? They could just literally fly in. I'm surprised. No, that's not a pun, by the way. That wasn't a 9/11 pun. Well, it was kind of, but like I didn't mean it in the way that like.
Oh no! Oh no! Hassan got banned for his 9/11 puns once before. Not again, buddy.
They're flying into buildings. I meant like they can just.
When it comes to like homogenous voting blocks, this is one of the things that frustrates me so much with Republicans. They can say all day that it's not racist to not want immigrants to come in. Why is this happening? Okay. But like we've been doing the research the last couple weeks, right? Like you guys remember, we've been going over like immigration policy and how it affects like the economy and all sorts of stuff. Immigration is a net benefit for our country, and Latinos are very conservative people. They are culturally conservative. They would vote Republican if Republicans weren't so racist. And the only reason I use the word racist is because they are against immigration for absolutely no reason. There's no good reason. All of the reasons that they give is like, oh, well, they're taking our jobs, or they're criminals, or they're eating up our welfare system and making our taxes higher. None of those things are true. Not one of those things are true. They have been proven to be false over and over. It's just not true. And even though they've been proven to be false over and over, they still do it anyways. They still pretend anyways. So, as somebody who would like to vote for Republicans, I would like it if they would stop being racist and start like accepting immigrants into the country. That to me would be ideal.
Employment would have dropped to 1% or 0.5%. Do you think then that where fast food chains are having to hire workers for $20 an hour, do you think that's an ideal world? What do you do at that point?
No, and I don't think that we were in that world.
We were getting there. We were.
No, we weren't getting there. And look, are you saying without the economic importation of labor, okay, you're saying that low skilled workers are going to have a higher wage? But then you argue against that by saying, but you want to drive wages down because that'll really stick it to Amazon.
My goal, I'm not saying you drive down wages to stick it to Amazon. What I'm saying is that
he's saying that it helps small businesses if immigrants come in, low-skilled workers come in, therefore small businesses have the ability to pay lower wages to lower-skilled workers. But without the lower-skilled workers, they have to compete more and pay higher wages. I don't think that Destiny necessarily really believes in this argument, but I think that he does, I think that he does believe that it's going to be hard for this person to argue against.
Which isn't anything that I've said. I've never said anything about sticking it to the corporations. And I've also never said anything. You keep strumming me on this over and over again. You saying I want to import workers. I don't want to import anybody. If nobody from Mexico wants to come and work here, they don't have to. That's fine. Then we solve our problems in other ways. Maybe it does end up being some crazy baby factory incentivization program like you're saying. But as long as there are people willing to come into this country and work in these cheaper jobs, I would rather have them sort themselves out like that economically than pay some of our smartest and brightest people to not...
This is really frustrating to listen to Destiny explain the same argument over and over and over and over again. Like, they've been on this same point for, what is it now, like an hour? How long have they been on this one point? 45 minutes, dude. 45 minutes he's been explaining just this one point. And we're more than halfway through the debate. Like... He can't get past one point. This is ridiculous. I'm seriously like blown away here.
Let's just do the next topic, okay?
Give me an example of unemployment going down under 3%. Okay, automation coming in, squeezing out the entire industry, or even large sections of the industry.
It has to be both under 3% and automation coming in and squeezing them out? Like, what the heck? That is so ridiculous.
Because a McDonald's kiosk ain't getting you there, man. An LED screen at a McDonald's.
The McDonald's is an example of where the country is heading. This guy is so bad faith. It is like, I seriously, I don't think I've ever been so frustrated listening to other people debate. Like, normally, I'm a very patient person, even in my own debates. But this is driving me crazy.
I know, but Tom Foolery might. He's not the same guy as you.
I'm getting freaking triggered over here from what's it called? Fall Guys, dude. This game is pissing me off.
Oh, my goodness. I have that game. I just haven't done it.
Are you playing and streaming at the same time?
Yeah.
Or are you like, what do you?
Yeah.
Are you back on Twitch yet?
Yeah. No, I'm not back on Twitch. I'm streaming just on YouTube right now, so they can see you guys. They can see my game. They can see.
Right.
So hey, we're multi-platform sharing. So
wait.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are not on Twitch, right? I always forget to ask.
No. Fuck Twitch.
What's up, DJ?
I'm sorry.
And so we were telling jokes. So do you have any like off the cuff random joke that's on the top of your head that you can think of while you're trying to game and manage another fucking web hosting seminar thing? Seminar thing?
I guess I made one up a while ago. What do you call a group of organized gay nurses?
An organized what?
A group of organized gay nurses.
Okay.
That doesn't.
Okay, I said, what do you call a group of organized gay nurses?
I give up.
The Homo Nurse Association.
Jesus.
I like it. It's cool. It's funny.
Yeah, it's good.
She thought it was freaking hilarious, dude. But when she told her wife, she was not happy.
Don't say him. Fucking let it go. Just let it go. No, I'm not gonna sing.
You don't need to sing.
Oh, so
I mean,
nice.
you can.
Got him.
So how you guys doing?
Kicked
Ooh,
him.
they canceled themselves.
No, he kicked him. He kicked him. He was like, "Nah, y'all don't talk about freaking my singing like that."
I was
them, then you must be burned at the stake. But if you want to simulate lesbian sex acts on stage in front of millions of people, then not only is that good, that is wonderful for our culture. Right? So Bill Burr, he gets up and he makes a joke because why the hell? And he's right. He was there to introduce the best Latino or Latina artist or something. And Bill Burr's like, why am I doing this? I'm a white guy. You can see all the feminists out there already complaining about it. Here's what Bill Burr had to say, and then he trended for this.
Was I the only one who wanted to kill himself during that piano solo? I bought a suit for this. I thought I was going to be on TV. I'm such a moron. I am losing so much money right now. And the winner, the Grammy goes to Natalia Lafourcade. Dude, I will accept on behalf of her. If I butchered her name, I'm sorry. All right. Hey, how many feminists are like going nuts? So why is this cis white male doing all this Latino stuff?
Okay, and people on the woke left were like, it's true. Why is that white male doing all this Latino stuff? And then commenting on it. How dare he, laughing about butchering people's names? How dare he? Right, this is where the Puritanism comes out. Because our cultural Puritans can never allow Bill...
See, because you can get suspended or banned, but they banned you. A lot of people get suspended / banned. My daughter has twice. I'll have to ask her how she got her account back on. Yeah, I mean, look, their wording was suspended, but it's suspended indefinitely, which to me is the same thing as a ban. Like, if there's no timeline on this, then I'm just technically banned. Well, I saw you say because the pedo comment. Yep. Destiny looks just like Ben Shapiro. Oh my goodness. We are not watching Destiny right now. Chill. We watch other things besides Destiny. Imagine thinking Twitter is real. Yeah. Does anybody know? I guess that's what. Okay.
Burr to make a joke about his own inability to pronounce Latino names. You can Latinx names, right? You can never make a joke about that.
Nobody says Latinx. Nobody says that. Okay? Like, I have been hanging out with the wokest freaking SJWs in the world. People like Aiko don't even say Latinx. Okay? It's not a thing.
Is witch burning stuff, right? He must be burned. Bill Burr is a bad man because he is cis and he is white, where the H comes before the W. White. Right? He is a very, very bad man. But you know what is great for our culture?
That was cool, the way that the vape came out. Appreciate you joining us, Uber-sama.
Sure. What is great for our culture is Harry Styles wore a boa because he was doing a bad David Bowie impersonation from 1983. And then what is also fantastic for our culture is extraordinarily graphic simulated lesbian sex acts on stage for the brand new artist of the year, Megan Thee Stallion, her given name. Her parents decided that her middle name had to be The, not with one E, which would make sense. She'd be Megan the Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion, you are the stallion. Okay, not just she, you are. Megan the be a stallion. Okay, so she and Cardi B simulated like full-on pornographic acts. And this has been the shtick for a while, right? I mean, going all the way back to Madonna. Let's not pretend this is anything new. The simulated sex acts on stage at the Grammys has been quite a thing for several decades. But this was, I will say, uniquely graphic. Right? So here was a little bit of what happened at the Grammys. Remember, our new Puritans are great with porn and infecting the culture with debauched behavior. They are fantastic with this. Right? They're the same people who will say that WAP is a deeply empowering feminist song because nothing says empowerment quite like rapping about the moisture state of your genitals for the pleasure of men to consume your actual content. That is feminisming up the wazoo. Tremendous levels of feminisming. That is great for our culture. But If I Ran the Zoo has to go, guys. If I Ran the Zoo is deeply dangerous for your kids. If your kids read about the island of Mazurka with a bird called the Yurka, your kids will be ruined for life. Deeply disturbed for life. But if you give your...
AOC is the only one I've ever heard say Latinx. Yeah. No, you just have to jump through their hoops to get back on. Yep. I mean, that's what I'm trying to jump through their freaking hoops. You should have seen what Twitch did when it was International Women's Day. They honored that day by coming up with the word Womix. That wasn't Twitch. That was Amazon. Amazon did that, I believe, right? Ben Shapiro, you're like half the reason WAP blew up. This is your fault. No, I mean, WAP was already like #1 on the charts before Ben Shapiro did that.
If you're a kid, puberty blockers at the age of 5 so they can decide their gender at the age of 13. And if you infuse the culture with a bunch of warmed over softcore pornography on the Grammys and then call it high culture, that's not bad for the culture. That's good for the culture. This is like Shakespeare. It's amazing. Now, listen, I'm not sure that there is a deep connection between the quality of art that a culture produces and the morality of the culture. Right? German culture produced some wonderful highs. But I will say this. I've yet to see a culture that produces low art and pretends that it is high art that is worthwhile. Right? That is not a thing that... So just because a culture produces high art doesn't mean the culture is good. But just because a culture produces low art and that becomes the height of art, that's a pretty good indicator that you have a culture in decline. This is a culture in decline right here.
Hey, yo, wait, I did a boogie and I'm not, that's a wait, I'm talking rock, that's a wait, I make it.
Dude, Ben Shapiro, you need to just stay far away from this freaking song, bro. Like, have you not learned your lesson?
And people cheering. Then a woman dancing inside of a box in which cash is being blown at her. This is high culture, guys. This is the height of our culture. So, if I ran the zoo, very bad for your kids. No, if I ran the zoo, Huck Finn.
This is a straw man. This is the height of our culture. I don't think anybody else is saying that. I don't think anybody else is like, this is the best we have to offer within art and culture.
Terrible for your children. Mark Twain has to go. Shakespeare is sexist. Shakespeare is racist.
Degeneracy. It was Twitch. Amazon owns Twitch. Okay, fine. Amazon owns Twitch, but Amazon put out like videos for Amazon. Tom is redundant as hell. How am I redundant? What did I say that was redundant?
Shakespeare is old-fashioned. Our new culture, however, has amazing things like this, like showing on major national television in the evening time full-on simulated lesbian pornography. Well done, everyone. Like, just, I feel our culture is in great hands. And by the way, if you make a joke about it, you ought to be canceled. If you make a joke about it, then we ought to go after your advertisers and get you fired. Okay, I'm sorry, but this new Puritanism is not going to stand because it is garbage. It is not even Puritanism on behalf of some purported higher consonance with the universe or something. It is not like I'm trying to get in touch with deeper values. I'm trying to get in touch with my God, and I can't do that while these people are dissenting. That's bad enough. Been penetrated by woke ideology. I was saying on my show this morning that, you know, if you asked rank and file members of the American military whether they wildly disagreed with Tucker Carlson's suggestion that perhaps pregnant women getting new uniforms was not at the top of the list of military priorities.
Let's get another game. I'm getting sick of this one. What's a good game? Should I get like a shooter or something? So what do you say? Wait, what was that game, Girly Bear, that I kept wanting to play? The one with the cars where they like play soccer on it? What was that called? Rocket ball? Rocket something? Rocket power? Like, what was that? Rocket League? That rabbit is not sexy enough, I'm sorry. We need some Lola Rabbit, some old school Space Jam, sexy Lola Rabbit playing some music, doing some dance moves. Furries are dope. Urasama. I'm not gonna read it again. Ah! I read it. I just clicked the freaking box without reading any of it. I didn't read any of the freaking rules and regulations before I clicked that. They have no freaking clue who they're dealing with, dude. Uh-oh. He's gonna do it again. Ah! I got him. Got him! You big corporations aren't getting me to read. If my school teachers couldn't do it, if all these people want me to verify sources before I freaking start talking about stuff, if none of them can get me to read, then sorry, Epic Games. You're definitely not getting me to read. Not happening. Reminds me of when my math teacher checked homework by just walking through the aisle and not really looking, and I'd have my English homework out and he wouldn't even notice. The fools got him. Well done. Freaking Urasama, dude, we are bad, bro. You and me. They don't know what to do with us. They don't even know what to do with us. People like us. Freaking bad to the bone, man. Bad to the bone. True. Oh, I swear I typed bad to the bone before you said it. That's great. Nice. The world tried to throw us away, but we're non-biodegradable. Nice. I'm sorry, I gotta ban you for that one. That was really bad. That was... Fans will not need to purchase additional online services to play it. The game platforms, anyone who downloads it will be able to go online and start playing for free on any platform as long as they have an internet connection. I have an internet connection. I have an internet connection. I have one of those. I can do it. I can do that. Sweet. Suck it! Bro, I am killing these fools. They can't stop me. They can't stop me. Get out of here.
Yo, I am amazing at this game, guys. Like, don't even play. Don't even play like I'm not, okay? Oh! Ah! Wow. What the heck? What the heck? I doubt he did that on purpose. I think I just angled it to where there was no way they could get it to stop. Nice! You idiot! Why? My own freaking teammates are playing against me, dude. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Baby, baby. Dude, these people are freaking rough, man. Yikes. They are crashing everywhere. Get it! Get it! Ah! Got him! Got him! Booyah! Woo!
All women. And anyway, we probably... I'm not done. I know.
Can you guys hear them?
I'm not done, but we probably shouldn't try to make some sort of rigid definition
Dude, that
for
was
women
a sick
because
goal.
we
He did a
recognize that it is
backflip
not
kick.
only highly
That was
contextual,
sick.
it changes
You
from
gotta
country
give
to
it to
country,
him.
it changes, right?
But when you say accuracy and gendering, you're implying that there is a truthful, like, underlying fact of the matter of what the gender is, because you're getting more accurate. This is what the implication
So
is.
it
Sorry.
also depends on whether you're talking about sex or gender, and that's kind of what we started talking
Get
about in
it!
the first place.
Get it!
Because
So we're talking sex.
Oh
here.
no!
Okay, so if we're talking about sex, well then you'd have to break down like, well, okay, what are their genitals? Okay, well their genitals seem to be male. Okay, but what about their DNA? We don't know what their DNA is just by looking at them. So, okay, we'll give them a blood test. We'll see what their DNA is. Oh, okay, well their DNA.
Oh, come on! Why did you do that?
X, but you know.
Okay. I won't argue. Who wants to go?
All right, bathroom check.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like we split hairs on this. Also, hey, my name's Vosh. I'm cisgender. I apologize for my existence. Okay. So, amount of assuming gender in their day-to-day life. Because most people are cis, and because there are a lot of normative and social elements that go along with our understanding of people's genders that influence how we treat them even from the get-go, before we can even ask a person's pronouns or whatever. When we talk about what the definition of gender is, I feel like there are two, it seems like they conflict, but they really don't, ideas in the minds of most progressive people, whether they're trans
Viewing
or cis or whatever.
1,500.
And that's usually thus.
Nice,
Gender
dude.
matters to me But
I think
the
there's
fact that like
correlation-
98% of people
Dang
are
it.
cisgender.
Hold on.
You
asked the
idiot!
question. I want to answer the question. So-
My
Please do
team
without
sucks
anecdotes and analogies.
so
Just answer
bad.
the question.
Hold on. In order, I'm not done
Oh,
yet. I know.
yeah.
You're just trying to argue against something.
We don't know if it's in utero. There's a hormone bath. We don't know if it's being on HRT that changes the structure of your brain. There's all these things.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is that sex, the biological structure of how sex expresses itself in our bodies and brains is one thing, and gender, how we interact with society, how we identify with others, are different things.
Nice.
In our society, they're conflated frequently, which leads to imperfect.
Sure. So
Can
let's
give
say
me
that
an
you take a
example of
person and you raise them in a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
Should you take somebody that's like 5, 6, 7 years old or whatever and just socialize them in a different way such that their gender identity changes?
Come on.
that? Probably to some degree.
I would say almost
if,
certainly. There are social expectations that are given to them. If those social expectations are somehow in conflict with those that are generally associated with the sex that their body wants them to be. That is to say, the sexual dysphoria that they feel is magnified because there are social characteristics that deviate from that which they're being taught. Now, if you were to raise some kid on a farm or on the moon, and that kid was born XY, you know, like you call him a boy here, okay? And you were to raise that kid, and you were to say, "Heyo, you're a woman, and you like dresses, and you do housework." I think that if you were to do that, and you were to do that, say, with...
They tend to say intrinsically or whatever. These are like pretty essentialist terms, and I think it can lead to some kind of Professor X. You'll be able to put on a hat and identify all of the chocolate chip cookie lovers on the planet instantly by some certain, categorization in their brain. We are not even close to that, and maybe someday if we get there, we can have a different discussion.
Yes, sir.
But for now, I think it is most useful for us to recognize that gender is super, super messy, and it's most useful to us if we use gender to talk about social stuff, and if we use sex to talk about things that are really actually relevant to the chromosomes you have. That's what I've been trying to talk about this entire time.
And critically, PC gamer versus mobile gamer dichotomy. You could maybe argue that genetically there are some traits that associate with tick-a-tap and little Skinner box games in your phone as compared to playing something substantive and cool on your computer. But nobody would say like society needs these. If we get rid of the binary between gamer on PC and mobile, then we don't know what to do. I think that's fairly ridiculous.
Thinking about like a similar phrase, right? Which was like basically self-expression, right? But it's like that thing that is the self, right? That is what you are expressing. Like I don't think that can be like massively fucking changed by society. I don't have any fucking evidence for that, but I do think that we need to stop thinking about like whether or not like gender maps onto sex or anything like that.
I'm killing it this game.
I do think that there's a really, really strong argument to be made that like the gender identity that somebody feels attracted to.
But you get the idea. Well, I mean, yeah, you don't want to express it. Yeah, anyway, yes. You get the idea, though, that, like, post-gender societies don't suddenly stop letting people express themselves in these ways that we associate to genders. It just stops prescribing or forcing them into those ways. I am ascribed things because I pass as a woman. I don't want to be ascribed to things that are associated to women. I don't mind being able to do some of these things. And the positives can be good, but there's, like, lots of... I'm not a woman or a man or a trans person. I'm Alice. I'm an individual person, and I have my own... like set of traits.
Anything like that. There was a whole bunch of information left out. People got involved, and it was
the catalyst was this incredibly like complicated discussion, which is a very similar discussion to the one we've just been having, and I don't think that anybody can say it's not a complicated discussion, given like how much contention and how many different points in the subjects we talk about into the conversations that we have.
Absolutely. And like that's part of what's so valuable about these conversations is it gets us thinking about these things too. It motivates us to talk about material conditions of trans people, because I know like on my stream, like I'm not talking about trans issues 24/7. And maybe I should talk about trans issues more. Maybe I can figure out more experts to bring on.
Well, I just want to say one thing. I'll interrupt the positivity circle jerk here. The thing that frustrates me is I feel like 98% of the time when leftists talk about like what it means to be a woman or what gender means, we're talking about these highly academic, esoteric ideas that are, by the way, you can talk to academics all you want. They're debating it too. When you're, I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about it at all. It's just, I don't know. I'll say this much, okay? I feel like screaming trans women or women out of a bullhorn somewhere in a street corner in a major metropolitan area will probably convince more people than if we were to get the population of a city to have watched this panel. Just because the conversations we were having had very little to do with convincing other people.
Yeah, it's extremely esoteric.
I mean, I do agree. Are rudimentary levels of bigoted simply because they've never encountered a trans person before.
So
I live in the middle of the Midwest, and most people I encounter never met a trans person. They barely know what a trans person is. They think a trans person is somebody on RuPaul's Drag Race.
So you're making the distinction between ignorance and like malice, right?
Yeah.
Bosch, you want to say something?
Oh, well, just there are a lot. I mean, it depends on which groups you find yourself in. If you're like in a largely progressive space, then I agree. Focus on presenting these ideas in a friendly and approachable way. Get people together. Try to find ways to get them politically organized. But in some communities, I mean, especially some of the ones I bump into, man, the conversations are less. What can we do to support trans women, and are more
in this conversation.
You want to convince people over to our side, but what is the point of people being on our side if they just sort of generally agree with us and they'll probably vote vaguely in the direction of us, right? We are still, in the United Kingdom, for example, the majority of women agree that we should institute policies that benefit trans women, right? We already have a majority of people who agree with us, and yet the law is going against us. And the law is going against us because the opposition, although a minority, is galvanized. It has coalesced, and they are vocal, and they are fighting. Whereas, I think just trying to get people
we should fight them. We should fight.
It's not
I totally agree with you, Viv, and I will go to you, Red. I'm sorry, it's late. Red, I'll go to you, Red, next.
Legislatures at the moment, right? Biden's pushing for some good
exactly,
shit,
Joe.
But at the state level,
you need more people who are on your side. And slogans like that.
Red, please.
So you all agree on
less
that,
people.
Early in the conversations, the things Bosch was talking about, the people you're referring to are fringe, right? People who are even interested in those conversations to begin with. When you're doing advocacy, where you're canvassing, right? You're canvassing about issues to people.
Oh man, that sucks.
People presenting to
come on! My own freaking team keeps doing that when I'm about to score.
10 years or something. So it's so huge, right? And I think
it went up from a pretty small number.
Estimate on the actual trans population at this stage, it's going to be really difficult. I think it probably is somewhere in the range of 1%, but it's really, really difficult to say.
Yeah.
And we'll all be trans. I mean, that's the goal, right?
Come on! I swear, honestly, if my teammates run into me one more time when I'm about to score, I am going to kill them all. I'm going to go start scoring for the other team.
No, not literally everyone being trans.
I want to not talk about not until the Globo Homo get their camps.
Not until Globo Homo Initiative is
the
human instrumentality project.
Built up around his political influence and the way he decided to wield it is just
I don't think that what I said.
The only argument you have is you just
assume
that I'm disingenuous. But why?
Why
don't I believe in the things that
I would be happy for somebody to come on and make an argument as to how what I said. So normally when I mod people, I always tell them the only things that we're worried about is harassment or slurs. If they do one of those two things, then we want to put them in a timeout, and then if they continue to do it, then we'll ban them. But because those have actual real world consequences. Me saying, even if I was actually saying what they think I said, I don't see the real world consequences of that. I don't see how me saying I'm pro pedo porn. I don't know how that actually has a negative effect in the real world. Oh, my phone fell. Crap, I can't see. One-man team, baby. I get that, like, they're more, I get that like their rules are a lot more sensitive, and so therefore, like, I can go forward, being like a little bit more careful of how I say things. Whereas, like, I didn't understand that before. I didn't realize that they were, like, that strict. But now I do understand that they are that strict. And so, I don't understand it, though. Do you understand it? Like, I've talked to a lot of people about this so far. Like, nobody seems to know what the effect would be, or what it is that makes them so upset with that phrase. Like, in my appeal, I pretty much said, like, hey, this is what I meant. This is, like, the context. I'm not, like, I specifically am anti what you think it said, but that guy stole my freaking gold. But I was like, but I do understand, like, out of context how bad this looks, and I will try to be more careful in the future. So, like, I said these things in my appeal, and I'm hoping that, like, my appeal is good enough. Dude, my own freaking teammates won't get the heck out of my way. Like, if you can understand why it is that they don't, like, I can understand that they don't want people in their communities having conversations about pedophile pornography or underage pornography, and so they would want to put a stop to that, but not from just one sentence, right? Like, there would have to be, like, a pattern there in order for that to be the reasoning behind it. You have to understand why they feel same. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I didn't read that one yet. Yeah. I don't understand why they feel that way, or why that's such a big deal. Like, I mean, like I said, I said it now on 3 other platforms, and none of them seem to care. This other team really sucks, dude. What is wrong with this freaking team? Twitch is particular. They put simp and virgin and something else on their TOS list. Yeah, it was simp, virgin, and incel. But I looked it up again, and because I had a conversation with a couple of people who said that, like, it's not that bad, or that you're allowed to say it. And so we looked it up, and it turns out you're only not allowed to say it, like, as an insult. So, like, insulting somebody has, like, real life consequences. So that makes sense to me. What do I have, like 6 goals in this one? I have 5 goals in 8 shots.
Legit, like, good faith criticisms of my behavior, then I'm fine to hear it. What you did was call me racist. I don't think that's a legitimate good faith criticism of my behavior, especially since I've walked back in the thing by now. So it's not even behavior.
Wait, when did I call you racist?
Didn't you? I'm sorry. Wait. Okay, maybe I could be misremembering. If you didn't say I was racist,
bring up the N-word here.
Very heavily implied it.
Destiny, I just called on my own stream. I was like, if someone says his name one more time, he's rejoining. And then the moment I said that, you
If you say the N-word in private 3 times in a mirror, Destiny shows up.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Hey, you want the real hot take? And I'll debate anybody to the death on this. The N-word, it's either public property or it's nobody's property. Either everybody can say it or everyone needs to stop saying it. Black people included. Because for any argument you can make, for a white person saying it's private being harmful, you know what? Black people shouldn't be able to say it in rap songs. 100%. It's harmful. It perpetuates bad stereotypes. There's a lot of people in the black community that don't even like that word. Shouldn't do it. 100% fight me on it.
Vivian, you defend this guy? You must be pretty racist yourself to be associated with this
I
fella.
believe. I mean, I'm literally just sitting there going, what the fuck are you doing right now? I mean, this is like 90% memes. I have to...
This is not memes. I'm 100%. I will die on this hill. I've got my musket and everything.
Okay. Either everybody can say it or nobody can. No, I absolutely don't agree with that take. I think it's borderline racist.
Okay,
Sorry.
Wait, he gets borderline racist. I get outright racist. Okay,
Wait, no, Bosh, I didn't say you were outright racist. I said it was racist for you to use the N-word on stream.
I'm feeling a bit of a squad W moment right here.
So hold on. So first of all, okay, hold on. This is what